Tough Sunday in Dallas as the Ravens hold on.
I disagree. Great Sunday in Dallas.
Dallas made a tough push at the end, but, man, for the most part of this game, they were blown out, and that was on the back of Derrick Henry, 25 carries, 151 yards, and 2 touchdowns. This is the Derrick Henry game we've been waiting for, and I'll tell you who was excited to see it was Lamar Jackson. Take a listen after the game.
Expect that from him, you just got to give him lanes, just hold up and just let him do his thing. He be busting his behind each and every practice. That's a guy who don't like to make mistakes, and that shows out there when he made those runs. He felt like he could have got more yards and he probably could have scored. And I'll be right with him because I'll be like, you probably could have scored right there, but he showed off. He did what kings do, Derrick Henry.
You see the King rumbling into the end zone. Mm-hmm. For a Dallas defense, this front seven had no answers, guys. Lamar Jackson had a big day running as well. 14 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, the Ravens ran all over this Dallas defense.
We did our Football Night in America pod after the game last night, and we were supposed to do these headlines. Like, that was the premise. And so I was asked, what's my headline from this game? And I was just like, yeah, it's the Dallas Cowboys, because there's no D. No. I mean, you heard me. That's right. It was late at night.
You put that on the pod? You put your name to that on the pod?
Yeah, on Football Night in America. Wow. Yeah, no. Now no one knows about my crappy bets, right? Now they're just worried about my stupid pun. That's right. Yeah, see, I'm playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers, Jay Croucher.
Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what people stay up for.
Yeah.
For the Football Night in America post-game pod.
Look,
the Dallas Cowboys.
I've said this before, I'll say it again. Whatever we pay Maria Taylor, it's not enough. It is not enough. Look, what I will tell you, though, is that, the Cowboys are brutal. Defensively, they're brutal. They're getting boat raced. You think about Aaron Jones in the playoffs last year for the Packers. When have they played? Whatever. They shut down the Browns, but so what? So did your Giants.
Yes.
That's the problem. That win looks a lot different now.
It really does, right?
The Browns are atrocious.
Here's the thing. Look at what the Saints did to the Cowboys last week, and then look what the Saints did to the Eagles, who I don't think have a great defense at all. Saints had 3 points going to the fourth quarter. They had 44 against Dallas, so I think that's a big problem. The Ravens almost contrived to lose this game. I was very nervous as a Giants.
First onside kick recovered with the new rules.
Yep. And then there was Ravens had 3rd and 6 with 2 minutes 35 left, and Dallas down 3. So strange game. I think the takeaway for me out of this is, this Derrick Henry, this version of Henry this season, might be the most game script dependent player in the history of fantasy football.
That's correct.
Because I think he's still Derrick Henry. It's just they're not using him when they're down and when they're in passing situations. But if he can just rumble and be King Henry with a lead, and I think this Baltimore team is good. It's still Baltimore. They should have leads plenty. And so he's still, you're starting Derrick Henry every single week. And there are some weeks where he's just going to win you your week if they have a lead.
Yeah, I mean, look, the upcoming schedule, they're home to the Bills next week. That game is on Sunday Night Football. That's going to be awesome, right? Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson. And then they're at Cincinnati, home to Washington, at Tampa Bay. So they should be up or competitive in most of those games as well. But I agree with you. That's the concern with Henry, and I think it's one of those things that you're just going to sort of have to live with and just understand that, but even I think he scored in every game this year, right? Yep. I mean, he's one of those guys that has a floor because just when they get in close, they're going to give it to him, and so huge game, obviously. Here, to me, the biggest concern, we talk about Travis Kelce. What about Mark Andrews, who for the season has 8 total targets in 3 games? And what's crazy is that he played 33% of the snaps in this game. And I don't know if that's because they don't think he's a good blocker and they were up big and so they wanted to run. I haven't gone back and looked at this one yet, Connor, but his snap rate has decreased every week this season. Is there something going on with Mark Andrews? We wrote off week 1 because how well he's bracketed, he'll be fine.
And he was on the field.
He was on the field, but now he's not even on the field.
This is a little perplexing because, listen, while Mark Andrews, the strength of his game isn't blocking, and they ran a lot in this game, it's Mark Andrews. The threat of him out there, and he's not a total liability as a blocker in line. 33% snap rate to me, and I was surprised nobody seemed to ask about this after the game. Is he healthy?
I don't think so. I don't think he can be healthy. He has the same amount of receiving yards this year as Brenton Strange. Brenton Strange played 1 game, hasn't played yet this week even. So I think it has to be a health thing. To be 33%, that's insane. It's not like Isaiah Likely is thought of as some amazing blocker, right? So it just doesn't really make sense unless he's carrying something.
Yeah, I mean, so just I would say if you have the takeaway to me is if you have Mark Andrews, I think you need to make other plans. To your point with Kelce, it's not, they don't have anyone else. I think you're probably still rolling Kelce out there and hoping, but with Andrews, because of Likely and Zay Flowers and the fact that they run so much between Lamar and Henry, I would make other plans.
Well, at least
He's
Kelsey
tight-
can give you 7 points here. There,
Yeah.
Andrews, you're looking at goose egg can lose you your week. That's how
He
bad
had
things are.
1 target and 0 receptions in this game.
Yeah.
Like,
Is he in, like,
I
Hunter-
could have started you and gotten the same result.
Is he in Hunter Henry type territory now? Like,
Worse.
Hunter Henry had 12
Worse.
targets a week.
Yeah,
He's being
Hunter Henry
outscored
at
by
least has had
Jonnu
one
Smith.
good game. Hunter Henry's had one good game.
Yeah.
Like if you'd have drafted Hunter Henry instead of Mark Andrews and you started
You'd
both
do much
guys,
better.
you'd be in better shape because Hunter Henry's at least had one game where he helped you win. It's not good. Not good. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotorWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.